beautiful would it be if you could go through life without any regrets? I know for sure I would love that, Mike.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, plenty of people also wish that was their case with retirements. So joining me now is Mike Douglas, the president of Life Plan Financial Design, a Lansing area firm that focuses on preparing people for a successful retirement. And you also probably know him because he's a popular podcast host. How are you, Mike?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. It's always great to have you back with us. Now, I want to ask you today, how common is it for you to meet with someone that has regrets when it comes to their retirements?
For most people, they avoid the planning for finances.
Right.
I think the most recent study I heard was that the average American spends 40 hours planning their annual vacation, but yet only 2 hours reviewing their finances every year. So that's
I think I'm in that category too,
Yeah,
now that you say it.
it's most people. They're like, oh, I'm going to Disney, I'm going to Mackinac, I'm going wherever, and we spend hours on Airbnb or VRBO or plan out this whole trip.
Yeah.
But yet when it comes to actually planning out, well, how am I going to live off this money? I'll deal with that later. And that's what happens. And then later comes like that because life and kids and family and all these things just sprint life through. And so I think most people wish they had planned out more with a long-term perspective to make short-term decisions. So if people had realized at 25, 30, 35, the power of saving, the power of compound interest, the power, we were talking off camera about the debt ratios and how do we pay off debt, how do we build a successful budget.
Right.
If we had planned those things out better younger, compound interest could have taken care of us a lot more over the years. We could have put more money into Roth or after-tax accounts rather than all pre-tax. There's opportunities that we wish we had known. I think most people come in saying, gosh, I wish I had just taken it a little more seriously when I was younger.
Yeah, and you know what's really great, Mike? I love that you mentioned that emotional component that we have with our finances. And because it makes us anxious, because it makes us scared, we kind of put it off until, like you said, now you're in that position and you're like, man, I wish I did that at 25, at 30, at 35.
Yeah.
But what else do you feel is the key to planning for a successful retirement?
So for people who need to build a successful plan, you need to have conversations with someone who knows the landscape, who has walked people not just to retirement, but through retirement, who helps people plan way in advance for the things that are down the road. So having a conversation with someone like a financial advisor or someone who's an educator on these topics, they know the questions to ask and the things to look out for, so then you can build a successful plan.
Yeah, and I know one of those big questions people have is about having income. So what does having a dependable, sustainable income allow you to do?
Well, it allows you to live. I mean, we always think of income as this is what helps me pay the bills, but really sustainable, dependable income allows you to live life inside the years. So we always talk about there's two numbers you need to know. One, what keeps the lights on, and one, what gives you life.
Okay.
And so because if I just make sure that the Board of Water and Light doesn't turn off my utilities and that they don't come take my car, that's one level of income, right?
Right.
I just want to be able to keep living. But then the other one is, you know, I've always wanted to go see the Grand Canyon. I've got kids who live around the country. We've got East Coasters. We got to go back to the East Coast and visit our family, right?
Exactly.
And so these are things that need to be built into our life, but it has nothing to do with paying consumers. It has nothing to do with paying the mortgage. It has to do with putting life inside our years. So as we build out plans for income, sustainable, dependable income gives us this foundation of freedom. Now that I know where my bills are going to be paid and how they're going to be paid and how I'm going to have this stuff built in, the more I sit down with people and they tell us, hey, I'd love to travel. Okay, well, what if we could build in a consistent, steady $20,000 a year travel budget in retirement? Well, that'd be great. Let's run the numbers, and we build it out. And now, not only do they have the joy of knowing that their regular life bills are paid, but that their enjoyment, that their lifestyle is paid for. And now they can just start planning their vacations.
That's right, and that $20,000 that you can put aside for just vacations, I don't know about you guys at home, but me personally, that sounds like, you know, like you're not just living, but you're having a life.
Yes.
I love that. So then that leads me to my next question. How important is it, Mike, for people to meet with you to maintain their lifestyles?
If I went climbing Mount Everest, right, which I have no intentions of doing, but if I did, I wouldn't want someone to say, hey, I'll be your guide. I've never been there, but I think it'd be fun. There's no way.
Very
right?
true.
Instead, they have these people called Sherpas, and Sherpas do Mount Everest for a living. Like, they don't go to like Mount Brighton or, you know, or up to Traverse City, climb a couple hills and come back and call it good. No, they live in this space because if they're wrong, I pay the price. If they screw up on the mountain, I die. And that's the problem with having an untrusted guide on a mountain. Well, at the same time, if we go to our retirement planning, there's a lot of people who have great advice for what you should do with your money. but they've never had to do it with their own, or they've never had to build it out for other people.
Very true.
So having someone who knows this space really well and actually cares about you, so you're not another account number across an 800 number. You know, you just call to some random firm in Boston or Chicago or LA. I mean, when you're in mid-Michigan, you want someone who understands our mid-Michigan life and who lives this out, who's from the area and who gets it, and that's what we bring.
That's right, and I'm so glad that you get this. And then for you at home, who perhaps maybe you do want to climb Mount Everest, if you'd like to learn more about putting time on your side for retirement, Mike has an incredible offer just for you. So right now, for the first 5 callers with savings of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan just for you. And this will allow Mike and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with the roadmap analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. They have a game plan to get you exactly where you need to be. And the number that you can call is 517-200-3330. Again, that number is 517-200-3330. Mike, thank you so much. It is always great having you.
Thank you so much.